Hello everybody, and welcome to day 1 of StoneBlock 4. So, the one that I think I'm going to choose from is likely going to be the cherry tree. I'm a big fan of cherry. I have played through some of the mod pack on the standard Dark and Mysterious Cave. This one's cruel and unusual punishment, in my opinion. But I've never played with this one. Oh. Well, this is nice. Oh, I like this. Okay. Kind of makes me not want to break it, but I don't think we're going to have too much of a choice. So, now that we're here, and we're in our first little world here, I definitely think that this is going to be my main center point already. I'm just, oops. Well, that's fine. We'll build off in each of the 4 directions. Great, so we're going to start with our getting started questline. So, now that we've talked to the Arcade of Guidance, we can kind of get right into the start of the pack. The goal for today's episode is really to get to this crude brush stage with bonsai pots and hopefully get to explore the world engine if we get enough time. So, now that we've called this our home, we're going to get Grandma's treat, which is some fruit salad. This will keep us going for a while because it is a pretty food and labor intensive start. Now, the FTV events are important. Some of them are really annoying. Like you'll see, I don't mind the B event. Don't mind the B event. The ones that I'm going to do, if we do /E events toggle, the ones I'm going to do immediately get rid of is Creeper. And oh, I think that'll be the only one I'll get rid of for now. I don't know which one exactly does the dropping of sand on my head, but that one I also despise. And we get our first loopy. Oh, okay, that's great, actually. We'll need some of those to get into some later chicken escapades. But with that, we need to get our first crafting table, which is going to be made by 4 cobblestone, which is just going to be made by pebbles. And just like any other version of StoneBlock, the way we're going to get our pebbles is by breaking some stone. So if I can, I doubt I can get through it. Oh, lovely, I can. Oh, it's just packed mud. Lovely. So, we'll just start by breaking this nice bits of cobblestone. The important note, this is taking so long because it's not my hand, that we can't use Ultimine yet. Mostly because this mod pack doesn't allow you to use it with stone. And it requires a tool to be used. And there is a reason I'm taking this out in a 3x3 pattern here. It's very... I get a little bit of OCD when it comes to that, and I like things to be even. And when we get into the later progressions, specifically, if we look at the quest book, the Hammer Time quest, this is going to mine things in a 3x3x1, and it's going to speed up this process by a lot. But once we're finished mining this out, we should be able to craft the first couple of quest lines. These are very simple, but they do give us the basic understanding of how this early game automation is going to go. So, we're going to take this, and I'm going to craft this all into cobblestone with getting hard as a rock. It's easy. And then it will tell you about the Altamine. The money's important. It's what we can use in our shop for, which will help speed up certain progression points when you can just buy them. So we'll put our first crafting table here. And with this extra pebbles, we'll craft this because we are going to work into crafting these 2 to hopefully get our first tree. So the crafting recipe, if we take a look for stone hammer, it's going to be sticks or stone rods and 2 cobblestone types. So we can make sticks by using 2 cobblestone. Make those rods, and this will give us our first hammer. Now, the hammer is important. It is going to be how we first start our processing. So what I'm going to do is break all of this down, because now we can skip the step of pebbles, thank the Lord. Alright, so with this I'm going to put on my offhand, because the important note is that we can then place this cobblestone back down and hammer it using Ultimine into gravel. And then if we take this gravel and do the same thing, we can then place it into dirt, which will complete our punching to smashing quest. Now that we got a little bit more cobblestone from that, we can go ahead and go back here, and we're looking at crafting the crook, which is going to take 4 rods, which luckily we have the extra cobblestone for. And this is where we can finally start to get some real business going, because if we place some of this down, I won't place nearly as much, we can break this down into each of the different wood types. Now, as much as I like cherry trees, I'm actually way more inclined to start with a couple of birch oak saplings here. So, with that, we get $2 for that, and a stone crook, which we already had, but it expected me to use all of it. Now, let's take a look and see here. Wooden shears. I can't remember. There is squat to grow. Assuming we have enough light and space to grow it, which we do. There we go. And I think in the meantime, just to make it a little easier on ourselves, we will make... I think we can do this. No, we can't. Axe. What is the requirement for a stone axe? It is sticks. Okay. Guess we're going back to the... Oh! Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, time to piss off the bees. Come on, bees. There we go. Ow, no, oh, son of a biscuit, man. Like, well, I guess now I'm gonna be poisoned. Alright. And now we'll get our first tree. And I'm not even going to waste the time. I am going to make my sticks now, because I'm not mining that all by hand. So as you'll quickly start to notice with this mod pack, is we're going to get a lot of stuff really fast. And it's going to be a little rough on inventory space. Luckily, there are a couple of inventory mods that we'll get into after we get through the getting started quest. So I think first things first, we are going to make any of the just hammers. For this, we'll start with stone. So it's a slightly different recipe. We will need 3 stone and 2 of that, which means we're going to need to get a furnace, which is fine. Furnaces and coals are all the same recipes as they are in the base game, so... Alright, so if we grab our cobblestone, with that, we do already have a piece of coal, but I think we'll grab this, and a little bit more wood here. That is a quantum goat. Hello, quantum goat. How kind of you. So we'll use our 1 piece of coal to smelt us some of the charcoal that we need for the quest. What are those particles for? No, I'm not even gonna worry about it. But as that smelts, we can start by looking to get some wooden shears going. We don't quite have access to iron, though. We could get them, because we need the crude brush for that. Alright. So, we'll go over here and craft our planks to make our oak shears. Or wooden shears, I should say. And with that, if we grow one more tree... Come on, Squat to grow, I believe in you. Once again, we have another beehive. Ow. Oh, rubbish. Well, anyways, now that we have our leaves, I'm so used to... So the reason I keep pressing the quest tab is because I'm so used to my ultimate being tilde, and I've set it to a mouse button. I just quite haven't adjusted to that yet. Oh, and perfect timing, our coal is done as well. Our charcoal, I should say. So, opening our quest book, we can claim this. Oh, and we get... Lovely, we get 2 hoppers. And for this reward, we just get $2, so... Well, this is base. The next quest is going to be Don't Forget to Stop, which we're going to need to craft leaves in a basin, squeeze them out so we can create some water. Granted, we don't have a way to scoop it out, so that will be a slight problem. But luckily, we can come back to this quest. First, I really want to get that hammer, so using some of this, I will smelt down 3 of you so we can get our hammer and actually get a nice little area in here to work with. But this should be smelted. Lovely. And we can go ahead and make our hammer. And what you'll see about this is I can then just go ahead and actually line up a lovely 3x3. And this is why I said this will kind of irritate me, because not all of this is done enough. Oh, it is. Oh, never mind. Okay, minus that. Oh. Okay. So let's just get this going as our 3x3. And make sure we let it up because I don't want mob spawning. That'll be incredibly awkward. And we'll just use our hammer to break this down. So we will need to craft a new hammer. As, actually, we can just repair this one, right? Or not. That's fine. So I'm gonna make a chest real quick. Just so I can get a little bit of storage going. Put it on the side of our tree. That's not quite what I meant to do. Demon's Dream Seed. Why did we... Oh. Later me problem. And luckily we can kind of just dump everything in here and take out what we need. Okay, so for now, take this, the dirt, and sticks. Because we're now going to get into our next phase of crushing. So I'm going to make an extra hammer because I'll probably need it. Take a look at our quest book. 1, optional. We need to get straw, which we can get from a campfire. Luckily. That will be pretty easy. Once again. There we go. So, while I wait, I'm gonna put that in there. And then we can go here. We can make our campfire. So we get a piece of coal. And we've got our 6 logs, our few sticks, and that to get our campfire to be able to dry our leaves out. So if we go to our chest to grab these leaves, I believe we can just right-click them. Yes. Onto the campfire. And I'm not sure quite how many we need to make the brush. I haven't actually looked. We only need the one. But we will need a pebble, which is fine. We can just... Or we can cook dry leaves. Maybe we get lucky. And get it on the 4th. On one of the... And we did... Actual rate lied to me. So, now we can go ahead and craft our crude brush. Yes! Okay. Ooh, a Starbuncle gift. Always nice. And now we can finally start getting into more smashing and the bonsai tree, which I think I'm just gonna rush first. And the reason being is we can create hopper bonsais eventually. So we take a look at JEI. Bonsai pots. And even if we can't, we can still attach them. And they can start automating some of our processes for us. Alright, so to do that, we're going to need to break down sand into dust. And we can also, great here tip, smash down compressed blocks. So, okay, nothing of grave importance from that gift. So if we go to our crafting table and we craft this, we can break this down into compressed, which will allow us to kind of process this a little bit faster. So it does take longer to mine, and I believe uses more durability, but we can break this down into dirt, which we can then break down into sand. And then I'll do half of this. To dust. And I believe for the quest it will require us to uncompress them. Yep. Okay. With this, we're going to get more dust and sand. And now we can get clay. So one of the great ways of automation, which we'll work towards eventually, after we get into some of the world dungeon stuff, is by getting worker tokens from villagers, which will be probably a whole separate video in itself, and or via chickens. I'm not sure which route I really want to go. I do kind of find enjoyment out of chickens, but they're a lot more resource intensive than regular thing. You could also use create and crush gravel down, because you can crush gravel from cobblestone into gravel. But I don't mind create. It just gets really complicated really fast for my brain sometimes, and I'd much rather just go the chicken route. But for now, we can try and get clay here. I believe we can sift it from sand. Yes. So if we go here, do not remember, we can check if we can sift brush compressed tools. It doesn't look like it, which is fine. Yeah, we're just gonna break there, but that's okay. Because we can do this. And I believe if we use Ultimine plus this, we can sift this. Which break into a bunch of things. We get our first gold chunks, some bone meal. Doesn't look like we got any clay from that one, but that was from dust. So if we go with sand, it'd be useful if we grab the right tools, now wouldn't it be? And we grab this. And now we should have gotten just enough clay to get our first bonsai pot. Alright. And while this melts, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick little time lapse of this building. Going ahead, breaking it out, because this is going to be our first area of automation. So I will go ahead and be right back after that clay is done, and we've kind of carved this room out a little bit. Alrighty, and with the little time lapse over, as you can see, we've made a room a little better. Also, I will need a name for this little guy, because he came in while we were building the room, which I'm sure you saw in the time lapse, so I'm going to bring him out here for now. Leave in the comment sections below what his name should be, and I'll make sure to get a name tag and name him. The most liked comment in there for the little guy. But with this room kind of complete, and again, haven't really finished breaking this wall out in its entirety. I think this is going to be our bonsai tree room, because I'm not sure, even though I've played for the mod pack a little bit, how much we're going to need for the bonsais. So the goal here, we have a few hoppers, but I think the main goal, and which will deviate a little bit from the quest line, is getting some iron. We can do that pretty easily, so just like with everything else, if we take some cobblestone, we can press it down. Sifting gravel will be the way to get. Okay. You can also see that we have skills. Now, I'm not sure what the keybind is to look at them. I'm not sure there is one, yeah. But the higher skill we have, the better resources we can drum up from brushing. And that'll be the same thing with the villagers as well. But luckily we got a decent bit of resources from that. And if I remember correctly, these iron chunks can be made into clusters, which then can be smelted right into that. Lovely. Because we'll need this iron for more hoppers. I'll take that out because I'm going to want it. And these, I believe, can be combined. What coal? Ah, all but one slot. Okay. So we do have a way to get plenty of coal, so I won't have to worry about fuel anytime soon. But to finish off this quest line, let's get right into that. At least getting through to the chrono generator. We need to create bonsai pots, which is super easy. We'll just go like that, and boom. Bonsai pots are complete. We get an extra hopper. So the next thing we have, I believe, is an iron hammer. Yep. Which is great. We already kind of started on that with this. And I'm going to bake some potatoes just so I have some food later down the line. With the iron hammer, we'll improve that. And while I'm here, I'm going to make an iron hammer and retire these tools so I can do that. What you may have noticed in the time lapse is these tools you can actually repair with their base ingredients compared to the regular hammers. So that is kind of a nice adjustment here. Gift of Pebbles. What we got? Spectre Coil. Oh, isn't that... I've never used irregular implements. Regular. So if you ever add, you can always add and then search, which will search by the mod. I'll have to take a look at that off camera just to kind of see what that's all about. But we'll put that away for now. We don't need power anytime soon. And that's kind of what your unearth level will go up. The more block types you'll be able to draw. This will work directly in correlation with villagers as well. So this is an optional one that I will probably won't hit this episode, but searching for the healing spring is a good time. Never mind, I guess we're gonna have to do it this episode. I didn't realize we had to locate it and get the amethyst shard. I guess you would need it for the chrono generator though, wouldn't you? Why would you need it for the chrono generator? Oh, because of the glass. Because you need framed glass. Or just regular glass. Chrono cell. That's why. Because you can get redstone. Brushing. Pretty sure based on your unearther level you could get... Yeah. Dust. Yeah, it's just a little right, but yeah. So I guess that we can make our way over to. So if we go here to the optional, it'll actually give us a compass pointing us. Looks like it's over. The nearest one is over this direction. So something that I'm not sure I explained because I did skip over it. Oh, yeah, I was just telling us that the echoes have certain quests. I'm looking for the one that may talk to us about our exploration. Ring generation. So, take a look back at the next page. I'll say we have Stone, Deep Slate, Nether, and Twilight Forest, Ocean, and Void Chasm. The important part is it basically breaks up to Stone, Stone, Deep Slate, Netherrack, and ends, and then all of the things in the preceding generational ring. In each ring, outside of the first one, is 512 blocks. The first one is 712. So, luckily, we can kind of start our journey. So now we can go ahead and grab, I think I'm going to grab Jungle Sapling and, where's Cherry? And a Cherry Sapling. Along with some, this, that we can break down into some dirt. There we go. So if we put, get out of the way. You're gonna be in the way. Get out of the way. There we go. So what we'll basically do is do this. Place our hoppers down. Like this. This is gonna bother me. There we go. I only made 2 of the 3 bonsai pots that I need. What am I doing? There we go, there's a 3rd bonsai pot. So now we can go ahead and place the bonsai pot on these hoppers. In the bonsai pots we can put dirt. Technically grass would be better, I just don't want to get it. And then we can put a jungle sapling in here, which should, yep, and you'll see it'll start growing. And when it hits 100%, oh, right, this is the mod pack where you put an axe into it, that's fine. We can go ahead and put some stone axes into it, because that will be the easiest one to replace. And then that will produce that, which should go right into the chests if anything drops. And then we can do the same with the cherry, and the same with an oak sapling. Hopefully those will start slowly producing both wood and leaves over time. Right, and now that this is done, I'm going to craft some torches. And we will do a quick time lapse into finding out where this healing spring exactly is. And I would really like to get rid of this thing. Alright. And I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, and with that, we broke a hole into the healing springs. Now, the important note here is one that's really, really dark. And really, really pretty. But what we're actually here for is some amethyst clusters. Now, I'm hoping if I break this with a hammer that it doesn't. Nice, because we'll take a few of these just back with us. I don't take them all because, as you can see, they're not on growing buds of amethyst, and getting amethyst by other means it's annoying. So we won't even get into it. But with that done, we should be able to complete this quest, and then for that, we need to get some dust. Luckily, we got plenty of cobblestone for mining this out, so it's just play for 1 hour. As you can see, everything up to this point has taken us an hour. Dust. And then we can do that. I know there's a builder's tool that we can eventually get. That does make this manual placing faster. But for now, this is what we're stuck with. Manually placing everything. I will be delighted when we can have automation of resources, and that's really what we're working towards with everything. My brush is relatively healthy, so I think it'll get through a majority of this. It did. We will get some nice bits of resources from this, and hopefully maybe... we did get on Arthur level 2 to apprentice, which is nice. It means we have a slightly better rate at getting resources, but... with that, we have a little bit more storage, and we should need to craft a gold, so I can take these gold chunks here, craft them into clusters, and the clusters can be used for that. Let me grab this, and then I will be back when the gold clusters is done, and we're able to go through and finish the rest of this quest line. Alright, now that we're back with that, we have the copper that we need here. I ended up making 3 furnaces while I was doing that. We have our gold here, and that's just a little bit more charcoal, so I can continue to fuel these, and I'll just swap that in there. Alright, so with that, that is going to give us enough to start working towards that chrono generator. Once we collected that gold, we got the unearthing. We are level 2 unearthing, which works out really well. We get some free dust for that. Alright, and then for the chrono generator, what we're going to need is we're going to need some glass, a couple pieces of iron, which we already have, the clock, and the really big one, the chrono generator. which I'm hoping we should scrape by in the iron department. We should have just enough. If not, we can break down some cobblestone for it, but I think, yeah, I think we're gonna scrape just by. So the first thing we'll make is a clock here. And then the next thing we'll make is the generator. Which I believe was this. Ah, it was. Alright, so we have the chrono cell. And last but not least, I believe we have the glass. I have some sand on me, so why don't I smelt that real quick. Just need one piece of glass. Take the rest of that just to have it smelted. And in case you were curious, we did get the copper from, if we take a look at copper chunks, that we get and obtain from sifting the sand. I say sifting, brushing sand. And right now, since we are a apprentice, it is an 80% chance for copper, which works out really well. Look, blueberry bushes. And there's the glass that we need. So we go over here and search up chrono. We'll get the chrono generator, and we should have all the items for that. And that will finish off our getting started quest, because I can submit it. And then that will give us our chrono generator plus our lost shards. And basically what this is going to let us do, if we take a look at the quest, with the materials you've gathered, you should be able to craft a chrono generator. It's time to submit the chrono generator and return to the Echo of Guidance. Doing this awards all players on your team a cell and a generator. You must submit the cell to complete this quest, which we did. That's what we did here. We didn't go to him to complete it, but so there's two things. The first thing is /chrono management. This is going to unlock the /home feature, which is really nice. And the chrono cell allows you to store power of time. The chrono generator will slowly generate chrono from the cell, which enables the teleportation and use of /home. You can also use the cell to teleport to the world engine by sneak, shift, and right-clicking in your hand. This is important. This is arguably our major progression in the mod pack. So, if you click this bubble button right here, it's going to open up all your bubbles. This one is a charm slot, so it will go in one of these 4 slots here. So I'm just going to put that in there. And then this is a bracelet slot, which will allow us to put that in. I believe this is a bracelet slot. Yes. Oh, that just unlocks /home. Okay. And if we take this then and do this, this will open up the door to the world engine. Now, here is arguably my favorite part of progression in this mod pack. The world engine is basically a machine, and lore, it's full of human knowledge, but this is going to be basically a big giant multi-block for crafting. So if we take a look at our quest line, we can also work towards getting an action pad. This basically allows us to open the menu, and it will allow us further teleportation. I think this is what I was looking for earlier. Yes, if we open this, this will do that. If we also press B, it will do that as well. So we'll put that in our bubble slot. That's what we're looking for. And, well, for now, we'll just put it in there. And then we can press B, and we can go to home, spawn. And so home is just base, but it is going to slowly use up our lost cell of echoes, which we generate just by being on the server. So, what is up next in our questing? Now that this is all complete, we do have the bounty board. We get our time played. But this will basically go over some of the major milestones you can do that are repeatable quests, because they'll give you things like the chicken wrench, which will be used for chickens. This will probably be one of the first ones we do, but you'll need this, that, and just finding that structure. And you'll get the reward of the dragon egg, which is kind of important. If we hold G on it to open the guide up. So it says, the mod adds a handful of useful machines. The extractor plays a big role in important resource for your fleet. Most notable, harvesting dragon egg. That will be used, I believe it will be used for Draconic Evolution and things like that. Kind of later down the line. Why plan on working on first is really the start of the chrono generator. So if we hit B, we'll go to spawn, and we'll talk to this guy. He, one, gives us a worn out ender lead. This is good for capturing entities, which will be important later. So, what we need to do is convert a zombie villager in the healing spring and turn them into a worker token using the echo shard encoder. Alright, so I found out I was being kind of dumb. It was right in my inventory the whole time. I wasn't paying attention to the quest rewards. So, if we go home, I'll show you what we need to do. So, to get the rest of the echoes, we need to get the world engine online. And that's the goal. Our goal is to really get to using this encoder. This is where I want to end today's episode off. So, to do that, we're going to need to get a villager, which is just by getting a zombie villager. Now, this lovely thing called Dreadful Dirt. What Dreadful Dirt's going to do is it's going to spawn mobs if the light level is less than 5. So we are going to go over to this side for now, and we're going to use this as our small room to work with. And I'm just gonna dig this forward a little bit, because what I'm gonna do is actually, in the meantime, get some resources working, so we can actually fight these things, because we do. I'm stupid. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I'm kind of a little dumb sometimes. Let me just break this out and break this out, because my OCD is gonna break if I don't fix this. 2, 3. Boom. Boom. There we go. Okay. So this will be a big enough room for our Dreadful Dirt to spawn. And for now, I'm just gonna go make a wooden door, so we can kind of keep this a bit, you know, a bit more closed down. We don't really need to worry about things coming out of there, and just for safe measure, we'll put the wall back. But I think what we're going to do is I'm going to make a quick cut, and I'm going to go through and just kind of gear up a little bit. Alright, so I made a bit of an oopsie. I got back from the time lapse and completely forgot to unmute myself on OBS, so did a bunch of talking that nobody heard, which is totally fine. Long story short, Dreadful Dirt, we are able to power it with redstone and force mobs to spawn because from mob utils. So what we did is we went and got our villager, and we brought our villager over to the healing springs, put them in the water, as the quest suggested, which turned them into a villager. I then picked this villager up because he kept running away from me. We then went to our first world crafting engine, and if you need to make a resonance charm and an iron stick. Those are two of the important things. To make it, you get 4 leather. Leather can be created on a campfire using rotten flesh. That's what I did. And once making the charm, you get to go to the World Echo and do it, and create that. So with that kind of gives you the idea of what went down there. And I want to let everybody know this is where I'm ending off the first episode. If you all like it, please leave a comment for anything you guys would like to see throughout the mod pack. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please leave them down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You all have a lovely rest of your day.